Hey guys, so it's me, Kiani. Today's video, I'm back with an updated foundation, highlight, and contour routine. Full coverage, you guys. We're talking about full coverage to get you through any of your holiday events. I streamlined this video and showed you my favorite foundations of the past few months, honestly. And I'm showing you how I use all of these products to create this full coverage nest. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Kiani, what about your eyes? Girl, this video is not about eyes. I know you're saying, Kiani, but what is your favorite lip of the month? No, this video is not about lips. If you want to see all things new and exciting with me and my company LipTricks, make sure that you follow me on MBK LipTricks on Instagram. And of course, you can always go and find your perfect combinations of lips and the things that I'm obsessed about, all things lips right now, at www.liptricks.com. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this full throttle foundation highlight contour video, you guys, using all of my favorite foundations of the month. Ooh, I am really close and zoomed, but that way you can get a real good idea about why I love all these products so much. Let's carry on. And guys, I apologize for my voice in advance. I've totally tried to give it about 2 weeks to heal, and this is as good as it's going to get for now, okay? Just to let you know, I've also already prepped my skin. I sprayed my face with some Mario Badescu spray. And then I actually went right in today using the Estee Lauder. This is the Illuminator Radiant Perfecting Primer. I absolutely love this. If you're going to hear me recommend a primer, it's going to be this. And then I finalized that process using something new by Pure Elise. This is the Matcha Green Tea Antioxidant Priming Moisturizer. So this, I am starting to love it. It does feel more like a lightweight water cream. It's said to be for oily combination, normal and sensitive skin. So, okay, now let's get on to the magic, shall we? First off, we're going to go right in with the Melanie Mills of Hollywood. This is the Gleam Body Radiance. I have talked about this product umpteen amount of times on my face, and now I'm going to show you again why it is still one of my favorite foundations. It's just one of my favorites. I love using this product first because it just gives me the most natural amount of coverage. This step to me is very important because it is going to assist in me being able to build a beautiful, glowy, long-wearing coverage. So my girls that like to wear something super minimalistic, this is your product. You can actually put this on by itself, use a little bit of concealer, and be out the door. It is a beautiful everyday wear, but because we're going full coverage today, I'm going to show you how you can actually start and stop, or you can build the coverage as much as you want, but to get my true full coverage, this is step number 1. Next up, if you have been following me on Instagram, you know that I actually partnered with Yensa and did a Instagram TV video. I am still obsessed with these products, and I always show two because I like to customize my foundation. The shades that I use is Tan Warm and Deep Golden, and I literally pump a half a pump of both of these on my hand, mix it in, blend it on my face. I'm going to show you how these come to play right now. Now, as you can see, I now have a little bit more of a fuller coverage foundation, but it's still very lifelike. It doesn't look like I have a full cake on my face, but I'm still leaving room to conceal in areas that I need a little bit more denseness of foundation. So of course, you can stop here. This is, in this process, step number 2. Now let's go ahead and move into concealing. If I wanted to conceal for a little bit more of a refreshing complexion, that would be right underneath my eyes. In my previous full coverage foundation videos, I've showed you techniques such as using color correctors and concealer. And for a very long time, I had been completely hooked on the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. It's still one of my favorite concealers, but we're talking about foundations today. The foundation that has made it into my favorites has been the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation. I will say the shade that I'm using right now, or that I've settled on, and I've said this often, is Casablanca. It's shade 450. This foundation runs very, very golden. It does help in the color correcting process as far as I'm concerned. It's not going to take the foundation peachy as I'm used to, but it's going to give it a very, very beautiful yellow glowy undertone. So what happens, it does look like I've color corrected and brightened the skin all at one time with using a foundation. Let's get to it. Now, as you can see, I have a lot more yellow goldenness underneath my eye, just as I like it. I'm going to set this magic using a little bit of my Benai. This is the neutral set powder. Those are my girls that love the RCMA powder. I still use that. I've just kind of gotten stuck on the Benai powder because it's smaller, it fits in my makeup bag, a little bit more travel friendly, and yeah. Now, tip, those of you that love banana powder, I love it as well, but because I punched my color corrector step with the Juvia's Place foundation and it went so yellow, for me to neutralize how yellow it went, it worked better for me to go ahead and apply a neutral set powder. What happens with this, it doesn't give you flashback. It really does neutralize the color that you have and sets it exactly there. It doesn't take it too far golden, doesn't take it too much more red. Depending on what your undertone is, it allows it to settle exactly in the color that it is and maybe gives it that much of brightness. Don't be afraid to try something new. Try it, take photos of it, and then you'll know if that technique is going to work best for you. Let's go ahead and move on to foundation number 4. We're going to be bringing in my Frankie Rose. This is a matte perfecting foundation in the shade Latte. Now, Frankie Rose was so kind to have gifted me about 5 or 6 different shades, and I have honestly settled on this shade Latte because it creates a beautiful bronzing technique to my face. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to show you how it works. Using a synthetic brush, and I'm just going to mark my face for contour. That poor bow! If you notice, I did apply the foundation in the area of which I would contour normally, which is right in the cup of my cheek, and I use a stippling technique of brushing upward. What happens here, it allows me to diffuse the product upward instead of dragging it down, giving me a nice lift to my cheeks, creating a beautiful bronzing glowy effect. I could have used 2 other shades which would have been deeper. I have this one called Mocha, and I also have one called Cocoa Butter. Either one of these would have worked if I want to kind of cut a quick corner, because I could have created the depth that I'm about to create with just using that foundation. But because I wanted to show you guys as far as formulation, how using several different variations of foundation, something very, very light, all the way up to a denser, matter foundation, can kind of assist you in creating a beautiful full coverage foundation with contour. So with that being said, we're going to move on to foundation number 5. I have been obsessed with my sticks from Beauty is Life. They are actually foundation sticks, and the shade that I have been using for contour, it's called Rumba. Now Rumba is a little bit warmer in complexion than the other ones. Can you see how everything was going really, really yellow, and now I've moved into something more of a chocolate undertone? So I am actually just going to grab this right underneath where I initially bronzed. I'm going to drag it across my forehead. If your forehead is smaller than mine, you might actually want to skip this step and wait to the next step. But I'm going to hit right underneath this neck area as well, and I'm going to lay it on heavier as far as for my face, because it's very, very round, and I want to create a little bit more structure and more of a bone popping structure to my face. So I've actually marked it in contour zones. Here I've gone so heavy because I want to diminish the depth of my forehead. Here I want to give my cheeks a little bit more of a raisiness, and here I want to assist me in kind of shadowing my neck area. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab this exact same Stellazzi brush, which is the angled cheek brush, and we're going to repeat the last technique. Blend and stroke up. Now, if you've been paying attention to where I'm applying the product, you will notice by me applying the deeper products on the outer perimeter of my face, I am innately creating brightness in the center of my face, middle of my forehead, underneath my eyes, right on my chin. Those places where I would typically want to highlight or create brightness, it's been done by me not attaching more products to those areas. I am actually mainly just applying product to the areas that need to be darkened, contoured, or diminished. I'm adding a little bit more of a darkness to those areas to create more of a shadow, therefore creating a reseed of those areas. You got me? Also, another technique that I hang on to, and we're going to have to bring in one more powder. This is also by Beauty is Life, and this is a beautiful bronzing powders. Bronzing powders are very, very popular right now. I want to say with the newest release from Lip Bar, all the girls are talking about that bronzing powder. Well, I haven't got my hands on them, and I really had need to, because Beauty is Life sent me an amazing PR package, so I can actually share that technique with you right now. All I'm really going to do is enhance this area. So I'm really just going to set my contour, but because it has a beautiful glow to it, can you see how it almost enabled my highlight to be more popping in this area? And you notice I haven't even put anything like a highlighter on since step number 1 when I was using the Melanie Mills. Do you see how it's still popping through? Which is why step number 1, it makes step number 5, 6, and 7 work better and better and better. So let's go ahead and set the contour. Now, all that is set and done, and I honestly just use a really, really light blushing brush. So I'm not going in with a heavy hand when I apply this, because I really just want to lightly dispense the product. Also, remember, everything on my face on the outer perimeter is still very, very wet. So if you go in with a big blush brush and you start doing some loop-de-loops, or if you go in and stamp your face, what's going to happen, that wet foundation is going to grab that shimmery bronzer, and you're going to have a mess. So do a light fanning technique. Literally, let your fingers do all the dancing with that brush, and you will have set that contour. Just make sure that you blend it in really, really well. Now, I have not taken the time to contour my nose, because what I want to do is reset my nose with some translucent powder or no color powder. This is really, really good for my girls that have oily skin, my girls that sweat a lot. Going in and doing a light reset in the areas where you typically break faster, or the makeup breaks faster, you can go ahead and add that step now. I am going to go ahead and contour my nose. Now, I'm grabbing something really, really thin. This is the Perlicone MD concealer, but I love this applicator. It's very, very tiny. It allows me to apply product in the exact area where I want it, and I am going in about 5 or 6 shades darker than what my normal foundation shade is, and I am just creating a little bit of a marking. And I'm just going to let this set. I want it to start to mix in with the powder, and I want it to grab. What happens, that will allow me to ensure that my contour will stay nice and neat all day, and then I'll come back and reset it again, and we should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and also show you guys some of the other foundations that I received from Beauty is Life. Rumba Saucy. It's going to go down here because it is dark, right? Oh my God, this is absolutely something fantastic, especially for my kid. Beautiful. Amila, which is right in between Rumba. Is that not stunning? So good, so creamy. And the next one that I'm going to use, I'm just going to put her right here in the middle. This one is called Beige Caramel. Can you see that? Can you see the richness? I love using foundation sticks like this, especially in my kit, my personal kit, as well as my pro kit, because it allows me to mix and match foundations, to customize them, to create enough contour to where the client ends up looking just beautiful, not cakey, not overdone. They just look amazing. It works really, really well for my girls that are like me, that as the weather changes, their winter shade comes back. You guys, if you saw any of my summer foundation videos, I was all striped up just from walking outdoors. There's no way to avoid the sun, so using products like this allows you to not have to buy so many products, but to know how to use a lot of products. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to this next step. This is called Beige Caramel, and I am going to cut this contour. I am just going to clean it up. So a lot of people would like to bake there and clean it up with their banana powder or their RCMA powder, and that's great. But while I'm showing you this, I'm going to show you how I continue to do all those steps, but I'm not really using a lot of powder, so therefore I'm able to create that beautiful smoothness in the skin. I'm going to grab another brush by Stilazzi, which is a natural hair brush. It's really, really dense, but I love to use this brush just to kind of clean this area up. Can you see what just happened? Can you see how I just neaten up that contour? So if I got a little bit messy, now, that's sick. Can you see that? How it's nice and clean? And it is looking a little bit powdery because Beige Caramel is too light for me right now. However, it's giving me that beautiful lift to my skin. And don't worry, because you know we always finish with a color finish powder. I don't ever leave this way. If you are worried about flashback, if you don't finish your face with a color powder that is your complexion, you're asking for problems, okay? So I'm going to show you that step last, but right now, let's go ahead and blend out this contour. Nose is snatched. I think I did let it dry down just a little too much, so you know you won't be recording a video, or maybe you will. Just kind of remember that your nose is baking, okay, in the setting, so you can actually figure out how long it takes for your products to dry, and you can actually respond accordingly. Are you still there with me? Okay, I promise you, we're coming around the bend, sis. I am going to enhance this cheek area here, and I'm just going to use a powder. And this is actually a eyeshadow by Beauty is Life, and the shade is called Mango. But you guys, look. Oh, can you see what's happening? I'm just really giving myself a beautiful finishing effect on those cheeks. Oh my God, so good. Ignore the bow. I know my girls that are OCD, that bow is driving them crazy. Don't allow it to. All I'm doing is just creating a little bit more glow in the areas that I want to glow. Oh, it doesn't look like I have lightning on my face, but it looks like the sun is beaming down on me, honey. It's beaming down. Yes. Yes, sis. Let's go ahead and finish this magic. You already know. We're going to just finish it with Cosette G5. Find the shade appropriate for your complexion. And go ahead and finish all of this beauty magic. And there you have the finalized look. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give me 2 thumbs up. Comment down below. Did I give you too many steps in this video? Did you like this format of me applying my favorites and commenting on why I love the process and the products so much? You guys know I love to know. Comment down below. You guys also know I love to connect with you, so make sure you connect with me. Follow me on all my social media links to never miss another upload. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel and you like what you saw here today, make sure you click the subscribe button. Also click the bell for post notifications so every time I upload, you are notified. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hugs and kisses. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.